look at our board of directors, it is integrated by 6 lawyers, and the average age is 45. So all of them were born after the firm had started its operation in Portugal. So that makes quite a difference when compared to other law firms.
We have a very democratic system in terms of the governance of the firm. You would not see a lot of firms where so many partners have roles and participate in the process of taking decisions in the firm. And that necessarily creates more bonds and more capability of people working across sectors and across area and forming teams that can serve the client without any relevance on the jurisdiction, without any relevance on the area of law in which we work.
Well, I would stress PLMJ's national coverage with offices not only in Lisbon, but also in the south, Faro, in the north, of course, in Porto. And I would stress also the network of national partners in Viseu, Coimbra, Guimarães, and also in the islands in Azores and Madeira.
Internationalization is also, I guess, something that is now part of our DNA, and we were one of the first not to export legal services, but to have an actual international presence.
I would say that PLMJ is quite eclectic, first of all. PLMJ today has a number of lawyers coming from a lot of experiences, different experiences, coming from a lot of countries. It is very interesting to see that nowadays PLMJ has Italian speakers, German speakers, Chinese speakers, African people.
It's different to work in a jurisdiction if you have been there, if you know how things work there, if you know what the Angolan authorities need and want when you are making a revision of a contract, for example.
10 years ago in PLMJ was established a German desk, and now there's a desk what works mainly with German-speaking clients. And these clients prefer to be advised in their mother language and to discuss legal difference with someone who knows their local law as well as the Portuguese law.
PLMJ is the only law firm in Portugal with a Chinese lawyer. I'm the only lawyer in Portugal that is fluent in Mandarin and in Portuguese, and also the only Chinese lawyer registered in the Portuguese bar.
PLMJ is a game changer because as a law firm we have always been a first mover.
With my experience on insurance and in aviation, I am able to say that this is worthy, the clients like this, and that we are able to provide better services with more cost efficient to the client because we are focused and we know what we are dealing with because we have specialization in the sector.
PLMJ also invests a lot in valuing its human resources by, for instance, having a very strong program of vocational training, which enables lawyers to constantly be updated in the most innovative technical solutions.
PLMJ create several lectures with professors and lawyers from all over the world that bring new trends and bring new perspectives or international perspectives. And this allows the lawyers, the trainees to keep informed, to keep up to date, and to create a flexible way to solve new issues and new problems.
We consider ourselves really a full-service law firm. On the other hand, we consider we are very flexible in general, and we do really concentrate very much on added value creation for our clients. And this sometimes also concerns the way we establish our fee structure. We have very flexible rules in our office, which allows us, the heads of the departments, to basically agree on any sort of free fee structure with the clients, which is something in the end which I believe does really make a difference.
I read a book from Malcolm Gladwell called Outliers. And I remember that he stated that if you want something, you need to work 10 years for that. And after 10 years, it keeps paying. International arbitration, because the Portuguese market is very small, because you need to go abroad, because you need to invest into the globalization.
At PLMJ, many partners and senior associates start their career as trainees. And not few times, partners, including founding partners, work directly with trainees and young lawyers. So at a very early stage, the PLMJ identity is strengthened for many years. On the other hand, I believe we have people with very different backgrounds, people that have started here as trainees, lawyers have from lateral hirings, and all this together stimulates diversity and ultimately works in profit of the client, I believe.
In more recent years, we have also broadened the scope of our collection following what has been our internationalization policy to artists from Portuguese-speaking countries. We are very proud of our foundation and of its pioneer role in the Portuguese cultural scene.
It was breakthrough in Portugal because it, due to the run-off situation of one banking entity that had living lease and long-term vehicle contracts, and the innovation here was, one, to find a banking entity that would take over such contracts so that they were existing and would still continue to exist after the seller liquidated and dissolved. And secondly, the biggest innovation was to securitize credits that were under condition. This was something that is foreseen in the securitization law as not allowed, but we implemented an innovative system that allowed such condition to be removed, and the Portuguese securities regulator accepted.
First, there was a sale of an aircraft, and the sale of the aircraft had to occur over international waters due to tax reasons. So the transaction consisted in first in the sale and then in the lease of an aircraft to TAP. And in that transaction, we had to be aware of the time that the aircraft was flying to Portugal and was over international waters, and the sale of the aircraft should occur while the aircraft was there. So in that case, the control tower called us and said us that the aircraft was over international waters, and that was the first part of the transaction, the sale of the aircraft. And when the aircraft landed in Portugal, the aircraft was leased to TAP. So in my opinion, this was an innovative transaction that repeated several times. And this was innovative because there were several jurisdictions involved. There was an innovative aspect that was the intervention of a control tower informing us on the trip of the aircraft. And from the moment that the aircraft was landed in Portugal, there was a new transaction with the same scope, but with the lease of the aircraft to TAP.
So the legislation, the legal framework in Mozambique was not prepared to receive such a reality. And the operators of both blocks were trying to negotiate still with the government for the framework to be, so that the project could be financed in international terms. So this actually changed Mozambique's oil and gas legal framework. As a result, after the transaction, a new decree was enacted regarding only the Rovuma Basin LNG project. And it was quite innovative, even in very specific situations and matters of rights which seem not to be relevant, but in this case, for the purpose of project finance, it is relevant because, for example, you cannot finance a project if you have no guarantee over the project.
A game changer is somebody that is able to find a way out that is not what everybody will think wiser. That's why I think we are surviving as the leading law firm in Portugal, because we are always reinventing ourselves.